and we're gonna dip into some of this, like some of their plans for updates.
You can hit it now if you want.
Yeah, we can roll into that.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
Unless you have anything more you want to share about yourself.
No, that's it. And Peacewalker, I've been doing Metal Gear Solid Peacewalker.
Wait, before we do Destiny.
Have I talked about Peacewalker on
No, you didn't.
this show?
So I want you to. How you feeling about Peacewalker right now?
At first, I wasn't sure
Okay.
because this is the
It's like
first.
somebody brought out the dessert at the end of the dinner. Hold
it's
on.
like, oh,
Hold on,
let's,
sir.
Let's
sir,
get
sir.
the check. And
You get the one guy
Neo's
who's like, he's like,
no. Let's
get the
get.
moose.
See, I want
can you
the,
just,
what's
can you
on
just,
that
can you
tray.
bring the menu over real quick? Can you just read the menu? Read the dessert menu. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Emergent Gamer Podcast. It's episode 162. This is one of your hosts, Trip Zero TV, all my stuff. Who I got sitting across from me?
What's going on? This is Locke and Key. You could find me on Twitter at Locke_Key and on Mixer at mixer.com/Locke and Key.
Lock and Key.
And
Who's
I'm
this?
Neo Ayoshi. You can find me at Twitter at Neo_Ayoshi and Twitch at Neo Ayoshi. No underscore.
And this dude.
Yeah, this is Felix Hergood on Mixer and Twitch. Felix Hergood.
Nice. Those are the dudes. We're going to be talking about,
That
obviously...
felt good.
Felt good, right?
Felt
Crispy,
good. Yeah,
in and
yeah.
out.
Good job, guys.
We're going to be talking about
I can be.
what we're getting into, right? The intro right now, what we're talking about. Felix Hergood.
I cut you off.
You did.
Well,
No, I
shut
didn't
the
let you.
fuck up.
And then we're going to be hitting some news points like we always do. Some fun stuff we're talking about today. We're talking about the things and the stuff. Nia, what are we talking about?
Oh yeah, because I have all the stuff.
You do.
Guess what? More Battle Royale news and also Destiny news. And maybe a little Division movie news. If we want to touch on that later. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe we will.
So let's dive in and catch up because for some reason I feel like it's been a long time since we recorded.
It was last week.
Yeah, no, but it's like we're deep in the week. This is Thursday, and we drop our episode tomorrow, so
I
it
actually
feels long.
like
you know?
recording the day before we publish.
I do too. It's
It
more
feels
relevant that way.
super fresh.
Yeah,
Super fresh.
yeah.
I don't.
Is it
Well,
because you edited it? Is it because
Because I edit.
gotta edit
Yeah,
this shit
yeah,
out.
it's a
Yeah.
crunch.
Sorry.
It's a crunch, man.
I feel real good about recording Thursdays though. I do.
Recording though feels great. The editing, not so much.
Yeah.
Lock and Key.
What's going on, man?
What have you been doing? What have you been up to? How's your week been?
My week has been good. Yeah, I mean, the Savage map, which is the test map for Player Unknown, they did another play testing for 3 days. So they opened up the small arena map that they created that's currently in testing. So that came out for a 3-day window. So I put a lot of time into that because it was only available for 3 days. And they made significant improvements to it. The first iteration of the map did not have any type of textures on buildings, and the trees and the grass wasn't really well done. They overhauled the map, so everything essentially now has a skin and a graphic, which is cool.
That's good.
And they also made some changes to the way the circle works, as we're probably going to talk a little bit about Battle Royale later, but they made dynamic changes to the circle. So depending on how many people are alive, depends on how quickly the circle moves.
Oh, really?
Right? So it's not like a set interval of time. Bluehole's been doing a lot of work with trying to figure out what type of circle works best. And they've made changes. They've pulled back changes. They went back to old ways. They've tried new ways. So this is just another iteration of them trying to figure out exactly what they want to do with it. So I did that, and then, which we're going to talk a little bit more about, I updated and launched Destiny 2 on my PC and played a story mission, which we're going to unpack that a little bit longer, in a little bit about why. But that's really it, man.
Yeah.
That's really all I've been into. No other games, I don't think, besides those two. And then they released some more information about the Savage map. That they're planning on new weapons, even more new places on the map that they're going to be doing, which is also cool.
Yeah, it was something that came out today from PUBG Corp. They said they were going to add an underground cave system to it.
To the map?
To the map, yeah. So they're going to add a whole sub layer to the game and open air, so you can airdrop into it when you start the game, and you can drop right into the underground section. Like an underground cave maze system. So that's been pretty cool.
Like maybe
That map feels real great.
Not man-made, you're talking about like an open crevice, like a giant
the map is based
hole in the ground or something.
Yeah, it's based off of Thailand. Just the way they designed the map, and they said it's inspired by a real cave system called the Priya Nakhon Cave. I'm not saying that right at all.
No,
sorry.
it's probably like I have it visually in my head. Maybe you have a big pool of water at the base of the area where you're dropping like what do they call that? A cistern.
Yeah. Here's the
a
drawing
natural
of it.
cistern.
Here's the idea that they're going.
Yep.
There's a big open area.
Look at
and a
that
pool.
shit.
A natural cistern. Yep, that's cool.
pretty cool, man.
Exits.
That changes your dynamic a lot. If you have
mean-
people that could be underneath you,
Yeah.
Or coming out of these caves or going in.
dude.
And I mean, they're doing a lot of work publicly because they realize that Fortnite is absolutely crushing them, and they don't really have any other choice but to communicate with the community and figure out what they can do to continue to do what they've already been asking. So today, most recently, I it's the only Twitter account that I have notifications set up for. So that's the only thing I get notified on Twitter for specifically.
PUBG's account.
Is play PUBG, yeah.
I should turn it on.
So they tweeted today specifically that they're going to be coming out with a map selector. So it seems crazy that like we've gone this long without a map selector, but they shared a little bit more about their reasons why. And they didn't want to cannibalize their player base. Not so much for North American servers, but for EU, Asia, the Australian servers, which are already lower populated servers. They didn't want to segment their player base by limiting what maps people were playing. So they said they did a lot of testing.
It also is going to change matchmaking too.
Yeah.
How matchmaking works.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah. So right now, the way that it's going to work is essentially you're going to unselect the maps you don't want to play.
Oh.
And then it's only going to do it based off the maps that you do. Right.
Gotcha.
So the
Okay.
biggest thing is most people don't like the
Miramar.
desert
The
map,
desert one, yeah,
right?
I've heard that.
So it's really going, what they were really trying to figure out is for those that like Miramar, are they going to be cannibalized and won't be able to play games? They'll get long matchmaking times. They'll decide to put the game down and they
Right.
won't play it anymore.
Or it'll be small groups of people that enter the match, like 50 or under. You
Right.
know what I mean? That wouldn't be good.
And it seems like they have it figured out. I mean, it seems like through all their research, they took a look at all their servers, they took a look at the numbers, and they're going to be adding it onto the test server first to see how it plays out. And as long as there's no hiccups or major bugs, that they're going to roll it immediately over to the live server, which is awesome.
If I may
Nice.
pop in real quick though.
Please do.
I was playing PUBG yesterday. In fact, I've been playing PUBG on my stream all week. That's like all I've been doing. I got into a Miramar match, the desert map, and I picked a town. I landed with one other person, fought him, and then for the whole game, the circle kept pushing me south.
Okay.
I landed at the way north of the map. No cars. I couldn't find any cars. So I spent like 90% of my time running south until the end of the game, which I got down to 10 people.
Okay.
And I entered Los Leones, I think was that big
That's
town.
very far south.
Yeah, I ran all the way there, and then I got into a sniper battle and lost pretty much right away. So,
And that's the thing they're trying to figure out. I mean, those types of games, if you make it to where there's 10 people up and you've played multiple circles, you're at like a 35-minute game. You've just
Yeah.
invested 35 minutes
was a
into
while.
one match.
So they're trying to shorten the game time?
Well, that's where the Savage map comes into
yeah.
play. Always engaging. Like, you can't not get in a battle.
Yeah.
Like, every 5 minutes, you have spotted someone and you have the opportunity to fight, or someone has spotted you and they're fighting you. So it's different to be moving through the circles and fighting people versus running from the northern part of the map to the southern, seeing one person and then dying when you reach the next circle. Like, you just ran for 25 minutes and then you died to some dude sitting in a perch somewhere, right? So
Yeah.
it's frustrating for that to be your experience. And that's where the smaller map and some of the circle changes that they're trying to make gives an opportunity for more engaging gunfights. But that map alone is not a well-designed map for that.
Have they ever done multiple circles?
No.
it's always been a large circle that shrinks over time.
I was just wondering. That would be
They play tested a few things. They play tested where the first circle is before you even drop. They tried that. People were like, but then why would we go outside of the circle? Well, yeah, that's the fucking point.
They concentrate
They want you dropping in the circle, so there's more fighting happening. But then people were like, well, why would I not go? Well, maybe the circle will go somewhere else next time.
It looks like now they're also testing. You can see the plane flight path,
right,
at the
which
What about
PUBG does,
have they
or
do-
which Fortnite does.
Fortnite
But
does.
they have done a moving circle.
It's always What do you
Not
mean?
moving collapsing, but a circle that like physically
No.
moves. They haven't done that.
No.
All right.
No.
There's a lot. I'm coming up with some interesting development tips for the PUBG people.
Some good game modes there.
The best thing that I can say is, and I've only been a part of this development for a much shorter time than even Neo, but I can say that even from the first month that I played this to the past 2 to 3 months that I've been playing it,
Vast improvements.
way more communication, way better improvements to the game, and like I didn't play it in its infancy, so I appreciate what they're doing because I think they recognize that they have another team in Epic that is crushing them, and not only player base but the way that the community sees them as a developer, right? Like that's very, very important. People look at Bluehole like it's a joke because they still don't have a map selector. Like we're still talking about like silly basic things that the community thinks are very simple and easy, like region locking China. Like why are people in the Asian servers allowed to join a North American server when their ping is going to be through the roof? It's not really that complicated. Why does it still exist, right? So whether or not they're right, that's not the point, and we've discussed this a lot. Like we're the armchair developers. We're the ones that are setting the tone for you as the developer, and that's just the way the market works. But Epic is literally listening to every complaint and is addressing them. And 9 times out of 10, also creating new things that the community didn't even know they wanted, which is also helping blow them up as well.
Do they have a bigger team than Bluehole?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'd have to check on that.
That's. I mean, my assumption is that they do, but I don't know because PUBG Bluehole made so much money off of early access. Like it came out way before Fortnite was a game.
Yeah.
So I would imagine that now, maybe not. Maybe when it first came out, maybe not. Maybe it was a smaller entity, but
I think Fortnite is also doing really well because they have an army of children behind them.
Being free does help, for sure.
Free helps.
Free, and a
The stylistic nature of it.
stylistic
Good
design
art
that's
style,
more
yeah.
friendly to parents.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And they have personas now. They have people on Twitch that are carrying their brand. Like Ninja having 125,000 people watching him every stream now, not like peak times. Like it was 3 p.m. on my lunch break the other day, and he had 125,000.
That's pretty nuts,
right?
yeah.
Like that's wild. So like that is driving something, right? That's driving ad revenue. That's driving the conversation. That's driving his. He showed off on his stream last night. He just got his gold YouTube plaque for surpassing 1 million YouTube subscribers. Like. And there's others too. There's TSM Myth. You have your other smaller streamers like Dr. Disrespect, Tim the Tap Man. All those people are hopping on Fortnite as well, and they're pushing the brand forward and helping.
It's funny to classify them as the smaller streamers for that game, but it's true.
Yeah,
You know? It's nuts.
like Doc had 35,000, and people at work were like, "You 35,000? Are you kidding me?" And then I showed them Ninja, who has 3 times as much. Yeah. It's like he's an anomaly, but it's because of the way they've responded. Like if 6 months ago Bluehole responded to the problems that people were talking about, it might not have reacted the same way. People could have still enjoyed Fortnite, but they wouldn't have ditched PlayerUnknown completely.
It's funny though, with all this, I still can't play Fortnite at all.
I only play Fortnite when Jism Crow and some of my older Xbox buddies that now switched to PC want to play, because I still enjoy it like with friends, like with any game you enjoy playing with other people. Kind of like we enjoyed playing Ghost Recon. We can talk about that. We played a little bit of Ghost Recon over the weekend for the free to play. Like we enjoyed playing together.
Yeah,
but like I wouldn't like run home and fire up Ghost Recon.
Yeah.
Like I won't do that with Fortnite. But yeah.
It also seems like it requires a different skill set.
Very much so.
Because you have to shoot and build.
You have to be conscious of how building is a strategic element.
Like you were saying, Locke was saying that Ninja, when he played Halo, just a straight up shooter, wasn't really that good. Right?
He's fantastic at Fortnite, but
he's really good at Fortnite.
Well, he's also so here's the thing. Fortnite and Halo are 2 completely different games.
That's what I mean.
Right? And I don't mean the building aspect. I mean just the way the guns work. So that's one thing to think about.
That's what bothers me about it.
So right now, Fortnite, like weapons have bloom, right? Like if I keep shooting an AR, my spread keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That's why you're supposed to burst shot. That's why right now the one rifle that's a burst rifle is infinitely better than any base assault rifle, because you're only firing in bursts. meaning you're less likely to bloom out and not hit somebody, right? So the weapon system in Fortnite is completely different than a weapon system in Halo, a weapon system in PlayerUnknown. And if you figure it out and it works for you, then it doesn't matter, right? Because you figured out the mechanics of the game. The way that shotguns work in Fortnite is completely different than the way that shotguns work in Halo. He was always a skilled player, but there's other elements to this game, like the building. Like apparently there's some metric that he can build with his keystrokes, like infinitely better than the next person. Like he can build a structure and build around himself, like quicker than anybody else.
And that's what it comes down to.
And that's what it comes down to. Because in that game, I can get the jump on you, I could hit you and get you to 50% health, and then you could build a brick wall, infinite structure around yourself and heal yourself and then kill you from looking down at you.
He's always
right?
had like a great shot, but like you can watch anyone play Fortnite that's at the top of the tier and look at their great shots. Like I'll watch Wish. And he's sick. Dr. Lupo is getting a lot of looks playing Fortnite, and
Dr.
he's
Lupo's
always
awesome.
incredible.
Yeah.
But like I'll see Ninja doing things with the environment and with building and with mechanics of like the impulse grenades and stuff like that no one else does. His brain just works like that, and that's why he's getting the pop from it, because he's playing the game with all of the environmental aspects to it.
I watched him. Shoot the self-guiding rocket, jump on it,
Yep.
grenade himself off of it, and then grenade another person into the rocket.
Nice.
What?
Yeah, it's just shit like that.
I don't even know. I don't even all the things you just said. I don't even understand what all that means.
There's two. I'm going to give you the two quick mechanics. They added, which they've gotten rid of because the community did not like it, was a self-guiding rocket, meaning you can shoot the rocket and then control it.
Like a Nikita.
Meaning right, but it was broken.
Like the arrows in Assassin's Creed Origins.
But it's broken because like I could be on the opposite side of the map and win the game because I just
Shot
got a
myself.
rocket over there. But what people were doing is people were then guiding them back around and then player jumping and landing on the rocket and riding
and
the
just
rocket.
you surf it.
Wow.
So
You
then,
can surf regular ones too.
So then he threw a grenade as he was passing a hill.
Yeah.
The grenade is a concussion grenade that makes you like jump
Bounce back.
So as he's passing a hill riding the rocket, he throws the grenade, shoots himself off, sees a player, throws the grenade behind him, that shoots the player forward, and the rocket collided with the player.
That's stupid.
You know what I'm missing?
Stupid.
So in Fortnite, you can like shoot your gun on the ground and it kind of shoots you back.
Only some mechanics. The grenade works like that.
The grenade works.
It's
like a grenade launcher.
It's called an impulse grenade.
It's a
very
specific grenade. It's
that-
not like a frag grenade.
It bumps you like Lucio in Overwatch, if you know that mechanic.
Okay.
Like
Boop
it'll
gives you a
physically
boop.
push a character.
I
So
understand.
you either can bump yourself or you can bump a player like Ninja does in the direction of something else.
Yeah, because Fortnite has cliffs and things like that. Maybe that's why it was originally built.
I also watched him build a base around someone and then put a trap on the ceiling, and they couldn't get out of the base, and the trap killed them.
Yeah, I watched him like
Does it all
dance
the time.
around a dude, and the dude was building as Ninja was shooting, so like it was just like a stalemate, right?
Yeah.
But Ninja went up to him and like took a wall out, and I think either he put a wall or like put a window somehow in this guy's like wall. I don't know how the mechanics work and who had to have like building initiative or whatever, but there ended up being a window in the structure.
Okay.
And because of the window, Ninja then had access to build inside, and he built a trap on the inside of the guy's structure, and it just the spikes came out and killed the dude. He just sees these like
He does very
openings.
and he also has a good shot. Like I don't want to knock him for that. But like he just understands the mechanics so well, and he's just great at the game. Like I would argue that there's others that are better than him shot wise. Like TSM Myth is a fantastic player who I think is a better shooter than him, but he doesn't do half the shit that Ninja does. Because Ninja also tries dumb shit. Like you'll never know if that shit's gonna work unless you like try and do it, and if it happens, there's your 1 million subscribers because you just did something that's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right. But like I'm in a game just trying to win. He's in the game just trying to do like absurd shit.
No, on a small level, I get compliments from people in my stream when I do things in a creative way that, not even necessarily a game mechanic, but like, like add a song in the stream that goes with the game in a certain way.
Yeah, sure.
And people, give me verbal praise about that.
Yeah.
Like doing something a certain way. So I can understand where that's coming from.
Yeah, it's part of your brand.
Yep.
You want to hit Ghost Recon, or do you want to move over to Felix and let him share a little bit?
Shit.
Well, I was gonna talk about it anyway.
Okay.
Well, there's actually two things I wanted to mention.
Okay, I'm sorry. I
Let him
thought
go.
you're good.
No, one thing, I finished Spec Ops: The Line. That was something that
Did that happen after last recording?
it did. Did it?
I don't know.
I think
it
so.
did. I think it did.
Oh shit. Well, it was a great game. I just wanted to let everyone.
I
know
didn't
that.
think he finished it last time.
Okay, you might not have.
He was
asking the
he was
question.
talking.
I was in the
about it.
middle of it last
Yeah.
time. Yeah, and I did finish it on my stream.
Good. I
Really
picked it
solid
back
game.
up too and played a few more chapters, but I'm not done yet.
It's real short, and you'll get to the end, and the game gets its accolades from like the storytelling aspect of it and how it. I'm not going to spoil anything here for you. Don't worry.
Sure.
But it's definitely worth a playthrough because they take you on a journey. And Crazy Peanut actually like called me out on Twitter. He's like, because he was watching my VODs, which is really sweet. Thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate that. He's like, I can't wait till he finishes this because he's not going to believe like what this game is by the end. And he was right. It is. You feel real bad about yourself after the game's over and everything that your character does.
Wow.
And how it goes about doing it. So it'll be a cool thing to see you finish.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, like right now, it's still just like you shared last episode, very like Call of Duty military shooter, like
yeah,
get
and
through
like
the map type stuff.
it still
but-
feels like a game from like 2008 or whatever.
Oh yeah, it's old. It's dated.
The third person, like after playing like a third person game like Uncharted, which is like the pinnacle of third person shooters, I want to say at this. I don't know if there's like Division feels great, locking onto cover and stuff. That's like the standard I'm like used to, and then going back to this, like the space bar. I'm playing on a keyboard mouse, so like the space bar is like you're attached to cover, and then shift is like how you duck and cover, but it's also your melee. So it's like
that's weird.
Sometimes when I'm trying to like run out of cover, I'll accidentally use my melee, and it's like real awkward. I don't know. That was a weird thing about it. But yeah, that's Spec Ops. We played Ghost Recon.
We did.
Pretty much for just one night, I want to say. Did you hop back in it?
I played one other story mission after we played. Not that same night, but the next day.
It was available for free Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yes.
Or just Saturday and Sunday.
Friday, because we played
the whole weekend.
I think we played Friday.
Played Friday, yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun, but
it's fun.
It's
It's fun.
I mean, so here's the thing.
It's a game that you play.
it is a game you play.
It looked
Great.
gorgeous
Yeah.
playing at like 1440p. Like it looked, and that's the first game.
Getting in a helicopter that you see everything. It's
Yeah,
like, ooh,
that was the first game that pushed my GPU.
Oh,
like
yeah?
I could tell it was pushing my GPU.
I did knock my graphics down a bit for that.
I moved to high for the first time instead of ultra to be able to get over 60 frames, which is not crazy, but like it hurt me a little bit because I've been able to run everything
It feels
on ultra.
bad, yeah.
But it looked incredible. I appreciated the gun customization. Yeah. I liked the gun. I liked the shooting. I liked all of that. Yeah. What I was saying to Felix when he asked me how I liked it off air, I said it just felt like everything was the same thing. Like
Go to a encampment, take everyone out.
Go to this place, kill everyone.
Collect the materials.
Yeah, you killed everyone. Now go to the next one and kill everyone. Yeah, you killed them. Now go to the next one. And like it,
You're just like, why am I doing this?
It just didn't feel like it felt like if I would have purchased it, that would have been. It didn't feel redundant that night.
Yeah,
it didn't because we were playing with 4 of us. It felt good. We were spacing out across the
but
map.
You're imagining like,
but
what if I'm doing this?
But like in 2 more playthroughs, am I going to be like, here I am running up a hill, going to the military base, shooting the person in the sniper tower? Like
the group we were with, they were like a little wild cardish. They were like they were going off doing it on their own, but
that's how it is every time you play with people.
You know what I mean? Like they just like, I'm going to grab the helicopter and I'm going to go over here. But like I feel like if it was just us playing, I would have tried to be a little bit more like, okay, let's see if we can like silently infiltrate this place. And
probably,
my Metal Gear Soul speaks to me that way. So like marking targets and then doing the sync shot together and so
really,
no one
really
notices
tactical.
our movements and our kill shots.
Yeah, because I think the last one not the last one but one of the ones where we We went for the military base, whatever that was. We went for a base.
What's that police force that's on the island?
Unidad.
So we went to do a Unidad, like we took over the
we just like we're going to go here.
One of 50,000 Unidad bases.
Sure,
it's great.
Yeah, they're all great.
And here we know why I'm saying what I'm saying. But and I forget who it was, but
Mr. Quail.
It might have been Quail.
He
was like,
I'm
going to take the shot. I'm going to take the shot. I missed the shot. They all know we're here. And I was like, well,
and they're
and we
they're
like
hard.
no like
they're hard.
I would have been like,
there,
let's wait, get in position.
Let's all make sure we're like, let's get every sniper tower.
Confirm,
not just like one sniper.
Confirm
tower,
you're ready.
There's others. Yeah.
Confirm you're ready. Okay. Fire 3, 2, 1, and then like everyone does it.
And I get it. Like it's. I wasn't frustrated about it, but you're right. Like
this is the situation. This is how the game is gonna.
It's like okay,
happen.
well now we all need to rush in there and we need to make sure that we kill everybody, and we did. Like it was fine.
Sure, yeah.
It felt really solid. Like the gun mechanics felt really good. Like firing the sniper felt great versus an AR.
Switching from
the
silencer,
silencer,
was
like
cool.
all that felt really good. I don't think there was enough to keep me going back when I already have a game that I like the gun style in just as much, which is PUBG.
But
so like that wasn't enough to.
Did you get my analogy though? Like how it seemed. I've never played PUBG, but the two games seem in terms
the
of like
realism in the guns and the ability to customize and make them better, and like that aspect is the same.
Yeah.
Like
it seemed like it.
I think the guns in PUBG are still more realistic in
That
terms
could be
of
physics wise.
yeah. But it would have needed to do something else to keep me wanting to play that versus just firing up PUBG.
I still feel as though Ghost Recon is Metal Gear Solid 5, but with the Ubisoft veneer placed over it.
Ubification.
You'll understand.
I'll know soon.
But the difference being, if I may, Metal Gear Solid 5, without trying to give it away, is the game Metal Gear Solid 5 gives you, the player, more agency with each mission that you do. Whereas everything that we've done that we did in Ghost Recon was pretty much by the numbers, the same exact thing. Which is why I always give more props to Metal Gear Solid, because of that.
You have more ability to like dive in any way you can conceive of.
Oh yeah, and with Metal Gear Solid 5, they give you crazy amount of tools that you would never have thought to even use before. But
you can get really creative.
Oh, you can get dude. I'm really excited for you, man.
I'm almost there, man.
Excited for you going.
Almost there.
Yes.
My only devil's advocate to this whole argument is neither of you played alone. You never played alone.
No,
nor would I want to.
And nor would I. Yeah, and I don't think
I'm just saying
would.
it's a completely different game when you're alone.
Oh, I'm sure you just have like a team.
Like I
AI team.
enjoy playing it alone better than I do with other people.
Yeah, but we've also landed the plane on that you're fine with the repetitive nature of doing something. I don't give a fuck if it's 3 AI or 3 of my friends. I don't want to storm the same base again.
Right.
Like, I need it to be different. Now, like I said, if that was the game that gave me the ultra realistic feeling of shooting, I think I would play it nonstop. Right. But I have a game that scratches that itch,
and it's a dynamic experience. PUBG,
always different.
And
also,
you're always
player versus player, which changes things. Like I would need that world in Ghost Recon to be very unique, to be different everywhere I go, to not feel the same. Like we flew across the map to an area we should not have been in solely because Quail knew we can open up a chest and get one of the best scopes in the game. So we went and did it. And like that base was no fucking different than the base I was just at in the mission that I just beat. And it's like
enemies came a little bit harder. That's it.
And I was like, we just flew for like 6 minutes across the map. Like there was so much in between. And was it like literally was it literally all of the same? Because like I'm never gonna make it there because I'm like, what am I still doing?
Yeah.
If I
would have stopped a long time ago.
But again, it all goes back to my comparison point is like I have a game that scratches that itch. I don't think you have a other game that scratches that same itch for you. So I think that's why you can pour all this time into it because
and you guys weren't playing on extreme either. The hardest difficulty.
That I told him I wasn't sure because I joined your lobby, so I don't know.
I think it was the normal game experience. It was just whatever normal. Like
it's super. Like I personally think one of the things that drops the ball in the lower levels is how easy it is. It's like super.
We were dying.
Easy.
I didn't find this easy, so maybe it was on extreme. I don't know.
Yeah, you could have been on extreme. That might be dictated by like one member of the It's fine. That might be dictated by one member of the party like being on extreme. I think like if there's one member of the party,
I forgot
extreme,
how we joined. I don't remember.
But it doesn't.
I
matter.
saw you streaming or playing, and I was like, "Hey man, can I be a part of this?" And
Hey
you're
buddy,
like,
what
"Yeah,
you
dude."
doing? Yeah, come on, buddy.
But yeah, that's pretty much. Well, I came back in. I'll just segue real quick, just real briefly. I'm streaming again. I'm back.
Yay, you're
Hey,
back.
he's
Yay.
back.
And the first game that I played coming back was Ghost Recon, and I played solo. I didn't have friends, and up until that point, I'd
You have
mostly
friends, don't worry, man.
no. When I played Ghost Recon
Right here
on
for
my
you.
stream, I don't think I've ever done a Ghost Recon stream playing solo.
Gotcha.
I did mostly Ghost Recon streams playing Felix and friends, having a couple of people with me, and it was constantly chaotic, but it was fun because you're all together and you're doing your thing and whatever, and chaos can ensue quite often.
Oh, we noticed. Yes.
But I had a great time. I played for like whatever. I think it was like 4.5 hours by myself.
I think I popped in that stream of yours, right?
Yeah. And I get what I did, Locke. I played the Narcos soundtrack the whole time.
okay.
Dude, it was so immersive. It's like I'm in the show.
I appreciate
was
your
so
love,
great.
your love for mixing your soundtrack, your
Yeah.
music with what the experience you're having.
But like I didn't even think to do it. I was in the stream and I was playing like I was playing some other music, and then I mentioned to the stream, the people who were there, I said, you know why I play this game? I play this game because I love the show Narcos, and like when I'm caught up in the stories of taking down these like people, it feels like I'm in that show, or whatever. And the dude in the chat goes, "Don't you have access to the Narcos soundtrack?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Put it on." I was like, "Holy shit!" And at first I put on just the theme that opens the show, and I played it. And as I'm playing the game with that theme, I was like, "Whoa, this is cool." But then I realized that every single track from the show goes with like you storming a base, like that. I know that's like augmenting the game that is repetitive to like add this other element in. But
No,
like,
it's great.
It completely changed my experience. I was like in it. I was like, God,
Do
like,
what you need to do, man.
Bob Ross would call that a happy little miracle.
yeah. Like I put that soundtrack on and I was like, wow, I didn't realize how good this would be. But yeah, it was great. So I did that. And then today, I think I'm going to give up on Kingdom Come Deliverance forever.
Oh, boy.
It
Shelving
really
it?
stinks too, because I got tweeted
Here we go.
I got tweeted at by Warhorse Studios today.
Oh shit! What did they say?
I said something like, "It's a weird game, but I like it," in my like post to go live. And then they responded. They said, "Weird, huh?" Question mark. That's just
You should reply again. They're like, yeah, I'm never fucking playing your game ever again.
no. I didn't say that. I told them the result of today's stream, which was I got so frustrated with the flaws in the game, I decided to murder every character I came upon. Literally, it was just
At
like,
least you have
we're gonna just
you
kill
have
this game.
games as your catharsis. At least you have this.
No. I'm saying like I couldn't play a story.
I'm saying.
No, listen. I was so frustrated that I couldn't complete a menial side mission because of glitches and bugs
So you
and
killed the whole
problems.
town.
So I just said, okay, I'm going to play this game the way the game is allowing me to play. The only thing I know I can do, guaranteed, is sneak around and a bunch of people, stick some knives in them. That's all I was doing. And but then I got
how
even
did
that
go?
going with your theme of repetition, Locke. That gets boring after a while. You want to kind of play a game.
Sure.
And I played that for 3 hours, and I realized I was like, people who were watching were like, okay, this guy's really just, this guy's getting he's a little off today. And then like people were just dropping off and leaving the stream, and I was like, yeah, this is bad. I don't think I'm going to play it again. Yeah. Like it was interesting when I was going through all the mechanics, but I've been 2 weeks away from it,
That game just seems like
and it's just too broke.
much.
There's just too
in
many
certain
problems.
areas. It's like too
Like it's very chore heavy,
Yeah.
kind of like in all the systems that are
a
like
little
you're
bit
working
too
with.
realistic.
Yeah.
I mean, like air quotes realistic. It's a video game for
Sure,
sure.
yeah.
But like I know they were trying to lean as heavily as possible on the historical accuracy, and that just like sounds good until you realize what you have to do.
Yeah, and I just came off of weeks when I was not playing on my stream, playing another first person game that's way tighter.
Yeah.
What
sure.
game?
Far Cry 5.
Oh yeah.
It's been hours playing Far Cry 5 in first person, and the first person in that is
tight.
real and tight and great
Yeah.
and immersive. And like this game just took me right out of the first person immersion.
Definitely one of the things I
numerous
appreciate
times.
about Far Cry, the Far Cry games.
I know.
The combat is just real tight.
That's on my
That's
list.
the way I can
I'll
put
play
it.
it.
It's a polished
Yeah,
game.
it's okay.
very
It's okay to
polished.
put it that way, but the way in which you went about
Your hesitation
saying
of words that really adds an extra.
it. You know, it's real tight.
It's tight.
But I went.
Tight feeling.
I went.
Stop.
I was thinking of Far Cry as I was playing today. I was like thinking of Far Cry, and I'm going, God, I just want to be playing that. That
did
first.
you
Why
want-
don't you
Fire
put
it
it
up?
on your stream?
Oh, I'm going to.
No. But this is what I'm talking about. Why in that moment wouldn't you say, "I'm done.
We're switching
I'm
to
gonna
Far
play
Cry."
Far Cry now."
I hate
Viewers.
I don't like changing the stream name. It
that
doesn't.
the- is that-
it
that
honestly?
the only
No.
reason?
Hold on. It does not switch over well enough. If I
What?
change in the middle of my stream, if I change the name, and I'm not saying through restream, I mean literally go into Twitch, change the name.
with you.
My VOD afterwards says the original game that I was playing,
Okay.
Yeah.
So
and I don't like that. I don't like that.
Well, then
Stop the
hit
goddamn
hit
stream and start it
so you
again.
have
I stop the stream, I lose all the people that are watching.
No, you don't.
not if
Usually
you
I
hit,
do.
not if you hit stop start and it just has a little stutter. Then you're back
right.
in.
Or you could also say, "I'm going to stop the stream now. I'll be back in 25 fucking seconds."
Is the VOD the whole reason?
No,
It is.
The VOD.
No, it's the same
It's
reason
lazy.
why.
It's
It's the
lazy.
same
It's,
reason
I'm
why
fucking lazy. I'm just
he
lazy.
wasn't finishing other games. He has this fucking idea in his head that if he does that, he's going to lose the people that are there on the internet.
Dude, who gives a fuck? I mean,
Like, this is literally going back to,
everyone
like-
out there who watches Felix. I love you guys, and he loves too. But like, fuck them.
All right. I'm not saying that.
Like-
you can say that. I'm
No,
not
I
saying
mean, fuck them all.
Like,
I mean, like if you treat it like a business, you're not going to like it anymore.
you need to do what you
No, I
want to do
still-
and be happy. I love.
No,
I
you
love.
that. I just told you I had an amazing time playing Ghost Recon.
Yeah, but then you told me that you hated the time that you played this other game on stream, and you played it for an extended period of
I'm
time.
not going to play it anymore.
it was a long. You were on stream a long time today.
I know, a long time.
My favorite guys. This is actually a segment we've never named, but it's always happens when we just workshop Felix's life in some aspects, and it's my favorite part of our show. It
I
really
should,
is.
We'll call it Dissecting Felix.
I should put in like theme music for it.
Yeah,
The Breaking Bad
Segment.
soundtrack.
boom, boom.
Bang, bang, bang.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
No, it's Curb. It's the Curb theme. 100%.
Definitely the curve theme.
Yeah.
It has to be. I think we'd have to get
Or the
we'd have
theme,
to get
does
the
it-
rights for it.
Does
Yeah.
it Idiot Abroad have a theme? Did you ever watch that show?
I have watched that show.
Does that have a theme? Put that one in. No, anyway, I'm done. That was it.
So just like
My-
just do it, man.
Sorry, before we
Just
jump
gonna
into you,
go
can I
back
just
to
put something
Ubisoft
out there.
games.
Sure,
Is that okay?
sure.
I just want to say one thing.
Say it.
What?
So I will be playing. I just want to tell people what I'm gonna be doing on my stream.
Yeah, for sure.
This weekend I'm gonna be playing God of War pretty much nonstop on Saturday, and then I might be guest hosting on the Lunar Castaways podcast, doing a God of War discussion probably next week.
That is dope.
So I wanted to tell people that and look forward to that.
Yeah,
A genuine like God of War discussion.
Yeah, yeah.
And and I'll piggybacking off of what you were saying about wanting to hop back into a game and just enjoying the game. I'm looking forward to playing a story where I can just lose myself in that story. Everything I hear about
Yeah,
it
I mean,
sounds great.
Everything sounds really great. I'm
Sorry, I'm
curious.
really sorry, Trip.
You're good. You're
I'm
good.
curious to hear your thoughts because I at
I'll
this
talk
point
about it here too. Absolutely.
Well, I
but-
mean, yeah, I'd hope so.
I'm getting
Totally.
I mean,
I'm getting it Friday as well.
yeah.
I did.
That's
I
tomorrow.
forgot.
are you going to play it, or are you going to go play fucking Kingdom Come and hate yourself? I'm
not.
Just wondering. Okay.
I
I'm just wondering if
I
you want to
just-
make the people happy or you want to make yourself.
I didn't want to take away his thunder.
Making
but I'm
yourself
probably
happy will bring
I'm
people
playing
to
it
your
Friday
stream
night.
as
I'm
you
playing
are
it Friday.
happy.
I'm just really excited to play a game that's not PUBG, I guess. Because
Sure.
I like playing games for stories and the experience that they offer. And this one sounds like a top tier.
Everything sounds really
Experience.
great about
If
it.
I had nothing going on, I'd probably play it as my first God of War game.
But for you,
But for me,
I want you to tell me where the hell's your stream been, sir?
so
Because I've been waiting for that.
I know. I'm
that
doing
Metal
Peacewalker.
Gear.
Doing Peacewalker.
Cool.
I did it Monday, and then because of my work schedule and my life schedule in general, I had 6 days of work in a row.
Shit.
And then I had a day off yesterday. So Tuesday night and then throughout Wednesday, I needed to like get my life under control.
Sure.
You know, because like going to work, coming home streaming, it just like you let things kind of slide. And I was like, I need to tackle this for my own mental stability. You know, I need to feel
Totally.
good. I need to know I have food that I have cooked and ready to go because I'm trying to eat healthy and do all that shit. I need time to work out. I need time to make sure I have clean clothes. All that stuff was just not happening. So I had to kind of reset
all
of that. And I feel great.
Perfect.
That's where I've been.
Gotta take care of yourself.
That's where
That's where I've been. Yeah, I've been playing you guys are all doing these multiplayer games, and I've just been kind of playing
for you, man.
Civ 6 and
Civ 6,
the new Hearthstone expansion which came out, which is honestly more of the same, but it was a big change because they changed their year format over, so it's like a season where you have new mechanics from an expansion, but also they drop off a bunch of cards. They only have the last 2 years of cards usable, so it changes mechanics in a really, really, really big way. So I was diving into some of that, as well as Destiny, which I've been kind of playing on and off. You guys know I've been doing the PC, a mission or two here, but I hopped back on the console for Iron Banner, which is back this week, 6 versus 6. They brought that play mode back.
I like it.
And it's been a lot of fun, dude. It's been a lot of fun. It took me a while to get my shot back on the console, but I was just focusing on doing the milestones, right? And I hit the one where it's at 5 kills in a life. I'm like, all right, I think I'm back. And from then on, it was just the games were buttery. It felt so good. And I was worried the maps were going to feel crowded with all these people, and they didn't. They did not. It was I don't know if it was just the way they did the spawn points or whatever, but fights were engaging. You always had a viable target or a teammate close enough to back them up or have them back you up. You weren't spawning into getting shot. Even the team aspect wasn't as dense. You're not rolling 4-on-4. There's always an outlier. If all 6 people are in one spot on a control map, that's bad when you have to own zones. So it took away some of the team element as well, which is it's been a criticism of Destiny 2's PvP. The fact that you turn a corner and you just get team shot and then you're just dead, right?
Destiny 1's PvP was 6v6, right?
Mm-hmm. Except for Trials.
Trials was 3v3.
Or
3v3.
3v3, you're right.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, just trying to refresh.
So everything in Destiny 2 had been 4 versus 4.
Right.
Including their version of
when I
of
was playing,
Trials.
that's what I experienced. Yeah.
So I think it's a step in the right direction. And we're going to dip into some of this, some of their plans for updates.
We can hit it now if you want.
Yeah, we can roll into that.
Right?
Yeah.
Unless you have anything more you want to share about yourself.
No, that's it. And Peacewalker I've been doing, Metal Gear Solid Peacewalker.
Wait, before we do Destiny.
Yeah. Have I talked about Peacewalker on
No, you didn't.
Show?
So I want you to, how are you feeling about Peacewalker right now?
At first I wasn't sure.
Okay.
Because this is the
It's
first...
somebody brought out the dessert at the end of the dinner.
Yeah,
Hold on.
Hold on, sir.
Let's get the check. And
you get the one guy who's like,
no. Let's
get the moose.
see. I want what's on that
Can you
tray.
just bring the menu over real quick? Can you just read the menu? Read the dessert menu? No, I'm glad you asked that.
You're welcome.
It's a very different Metal Gear Solid game than the other ones. They've all been heavy story, linear experiences, right? You do a boss, you do an area,
cutscene gameplay,
right? Explore or something, maybe backtrack to pick up a weapon or something, and then you just keep going forward and experiencing the story. Peacewalker is a mission structure where you choose your next mission, you choose your loadout, and then you go in.
But you got like a menu where it's like your mother base. You have your home base.
Well, those are side mechanics that you use to build up in the game, but
everything you select from
this
menu. Yeah.
The format is just you have in Peacewalker at least maybe 5 or 6 areas of a total map, and you go through there, you infiltrate. There are guards.
Right.
You only have the loadout you bring and the items that you brought with you. So it's almost like puzzle based. If you encounter a boss, usually it stops your mission. It's the end of your mission, then you load up the boss mission and load up for that, and the story continues through a thread through all of these things. You also have side missions that you can use for more experience. There's gun damage with numbers popping up, like a looter
weird.
shooter, which is weird for Metal Gear Solid, but comforting, very cool from the Destiny point of view. And you also have this mechanic of building up your base. You can recruit soldiers from the field and give them jobs in your mother base, essentially, that you go back to in between all your missions.
Which Assassin's Creed did you compare that to?
Black Flag.
You said they they pilfered
so,
the tools.
So as you progress through, they introduce new mechanics. It's now you have a sick bay. Well, now that your crew is a certain level, they can go on and do other missions that can get you more experience while you play your main mission.
Sounds like something that exists in 5.
Sounds a little bit.
This game-
sounds exactly like something that exists in
This
5.
game was like the groundwork for the methodology of 5 and the way that it works.
And it worked really well at the time because it came out on the PSP.
That's the most mind-blowing
You're
thing.
playing it on PS3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a portable game. This game existed on the PlayStation Portable.
So like you be
It's nuts
like
that
imagine
it's
taking
so
this game with
deep.
you and then being like, oh, I got to send my soldiers out to do these procurement missions while I'm going to class or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's like my experience with it.
Right.
And it was nuts how
Yeah.
like taking Metal Gear with you was like a whole experience.
You're literally Big Boss sending your crew to do something. But that
You
mechanic,
felt like the general.
that
of your
mechanic
army.
existed in Black Flag, Assassin's Creed 4. You would like send your ships and your other Assassin's crew out to do something, and it was just a time-based thing.
And you had a
when they got
mobile
back.
app that you could manage it on actually
more than
for
just-
Black Flag.
More than just that game, though. I mean, I thought multiple Assassin's Creeds had that kind of thing where you.
I think it really started in 4. I mean,
Yeah, it was
kept
definitely
going,
4.
But
4 definitely had
Yeah.
that. There was another Ubisoft game that did that within that time period too. I'm trying to remember which one.
No, I
it
think
was.
3 had that mechanic started, then 4, then Rogue. They all had.
They
it.
must have learned that from Peace Walker, or some other kind of, because Peace Walker came
Back
out
and
before
forth.
those. Yeah, I can't think of any other games that had that
Yeah.
like mini side game feature mechanic that they
Right.
had. But yeah, Peace Walker is pretty cool.
It's a different experience, and like I said, at first I didn't like it. It was just uncomfortable, just coming from all the other ones. But
and
now I
you
really like it.
You get into like a rhythm of like, okay, I finished the mission. Let me see what my base is doing.
Yeah.
R&D. What you up to?
Yeah,
what
like
you
what
make?
guns can I make now that I
Yeah.
have this many people and this much skill working in this area? You know, you can kind of pick and choose how you want to develop your gear. It's just it's a cool mechanic. It's a cool way to do things.
How far do you think you're? Where are you at in it?
I am at the second AI boss, the drone looking one, the big helicopter.
The one
thing.
that sings.
Yeah,
Okay,
I haven't done the fight. I'm at that fight. My next mission will be that boss battle.
very cool. I'm very as you know, people listening.
Are you excited?
I'm very excited.
He's a fucking Metal Gear fan. I didn't even know.
I had no idea you were excited. Thank you so much for
All right,
letting
I
us
just-
know.
It's hard to interpret, so
Look,
it's good
all,
that you
all you
articulated
guys,
that.
I just need you to know I get excited about things, whether it be Nintendo Switches or Metal Gear Solid.
We're gonna excitement shame.
I
you.
like the things I like very much.
As
But I want to see you. I want to see you essentially get to Ground Zeroes and Metal Gear Solid 5.
I'm excited for 5. So much so that I'm almost like I'm dragging a little bit on Peace Walker. I'm like,
Don't,
I just want
man.
to be through it. I want to play 5.
Oh no!
You know?
I mean, like you got to push.
I
through.
know I have to experience it for the story, but
I almost bought 5 for PC the other day because it was like $8 on Humble
Was it
Bundle,
really?
and I was gonna do it just because I never really played 5. I did like
You would love it.
I played like 3 or 4 hours and did some the world opened up and I did a few missions, but then I kind of just I fell out of it and I thought maybe if I picked it up on PC I would play it again, but I think I'm gonna
I
just
think you
live
should.
vicariously through him
Yeah.
instead.
It was the year it came out. It was that between that and Witcher 3, and like I had a really hard time picking either of them. But I ended up picking Witcher 3 because
It's a better game.
it's just a better game. It was just more polished, and everything about Witcher 3 felt great.
God, one day I'll go back and do Witcher.
Oh, I'm doing it.
Are you doing it? You're gonna pass the windmill and the griffin fight?
So I hear you saying that. Make fun of me for getting excited. I'm gonna every time you say I'm gonna play Witcher 3, I'm gonna
Sure.
get
It's
back.
always
to
going to be
I
less times than
started-
you saying you're getting excited.
I
about
started
another
Fallout
Metal
4
Gear game.
up again like a month ago. That died.
What was that?
I started Fallout 4 up again, just like in my downtime, like as my like off stream game that I was playing. That died off. Like I thought I was gonna go forward with that again. Nope, stopped it. At,
Felix played that enough
at
for
the
all
city,
of us.
Diamond City again.
Witcher 3 was my year 1 stream game. I mean, for the most of the first year I streamed, that's the game I streamed.
Right.
I had a great time streaming that game. It was so good.
Fantastic game.
Come on, Roach.
All right,
So Destiny.
Destiny.
do it.
I mean, Trip and I have been talking a little bit about it. I mean, there's a lot of changes happening with D2.
Literally right now, the community summit is happening at Bungie.
Right. So that's a big portion. I mean, we haven't talked D2 in a while.
been a while. There's been nothing going on.
So I think the biggest thing that caught my eye before now all of these other things that are happening was they added a section on their development map, which was for September. And this is where things start to get interesting. In September, they have a few line items on there. And the biggest change to the line item is weapon class, I think is the way that they word it, or weapon...
It's like weapon classification or something, or something like that.
Essentially what they're saying is... here, can you read September for me, Nia?
Gear collections, records, weapon slot changes, weapon randomization,
Right.
and more yet to be revealed.
All right, so random random rolls for weapons,
God, that's September though.
Slot changes.
and slot changes. So right now, what they are doing is they are play testing how they're going to probably mesh D1 into D2 without simply just it being D1 again.
Right.
But what they're saying is in September we have heard you, and we are going to bring back random weapons, random loadouts, and then we're going to change the way in which the classifications work. Where a sniper might not be a heavy anymore; it might be a secondary weapon.
Oh, thank
Sounds
God.
great. Yeah.
So, but that you're right. It is September, but that knowing that it exists makes me want to play it again. And this is one of a few things that they've been discussing, but this was what caught my eye that brought me back into the Destiny 2.
This is my first time looking at this roadmap.
Sure.
I have not seen this yet.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at summer. They're looking into implementing PC clan chat.
Yeah.
How is that not?
How
a
is this
thing?
not a thing?
The same way why PUBG doesn't have a map selector.
It just is one of those things
But like,
that
I can give PUBG a little bit more slack because they were a early access game and they went 1.0. I'm going to say prematurely. The game is janky as hell still.
My argument would be that this is Bungie's first PC game.
And as
I don't know if-
they're responding to community like needs,
Yeah.
they're going to shift around priority, and that's not going to be a thing that takes priority over other changes.
For sure.
I
For
don't-
sure.
I don't disagree.
That is not a good quality of life for the game itself. I'm just saying, like, this is like basic stuff that you would have in like old MMO games.
Yeah,
Like,
I feel you.
yeah.
I don't disagree. You're right. It's a feature that should just exist. But if you're going to make the argument of like,
Look, they got to prioritize.
they do.
They got to
right?
they got to get the game back on track.
Exactly. And like, if you can't text chat your friends on PC, like build a fucking bridge and use Discord, like whatever. But
Emergent Gamer Discord now live.
yeah,
True.
join us.
Use-
But now we get into a little bit more specific changes. So one of the big undertaking that's been all over Twitter recently is they're finally making exotic weapons meaningful. Right now in D2, none of the exotic weapons really feel powerful, unique. They just don't feel like they're worth grinding for
Or worth locking out other options to
Or-
use.
or
'Cause you can
using
only
it
use
over
one
something
weapon
else.
and one piece of armor.
Yeah, so they've highlighted some changes coming to some of the guns, like Graviton Lance. Now literally blows people up like as you're shooting it. Some of the other guns that they were showing was the what is the scout rifle?
Mida?
Multi-tool?
Skyburner's Oath.
Oh, yes.
That shoots differently when you're aiming down sights versus when you're ADSing. When you're shooting down sights, it's a scout rifle. When you're shooting ADS, it's like little mini bombs are being shot out and there's explosions. The Drang, which is the sidearm exotic, Rat Pack, which is the sidearm exotic, used to do no damage even if your whole fire team was using it. They showed them. They showed people using it in the raid where they were literally melting people as everyone was shooting their sidearms.
Because that's a gun that gets buffs the more of your team is using the
So
same
if your
gun.
whole fire team has it, your gun should be better.
You also get the
it didn't
buff
feel
now.
better.
If it's
Right.
holstered, you'll get the buff too.
Right.
If someone's using a different gun.
So you could be using the Graviton Lance, but you have it equipped, and you can be getting a buff, which is pretty
Yeah.
cool. So they're making it like right now you wouldn't even choose an exotic. Like there's not a real reason to choose it.
In Destiny, it was completely Destiny 1. It was completely skewed to one exotic,
Sure.
right?
You're right.
Which wasn't good either.
No, but there were other times.
Yeah.
Like Gallahorn was it, but like Icebreaker was super popular.
oh, man.
Oh yeah, we love
Right.
that.
Then there was the Dark Below Icebreaker version, which was the Black Spindle.
Yep.
Or Black. No, the
There
raid
was
had
the-
Black something.
There was the Black Hammer.
Black Hammer, and then there was
Black
they brought it back
Spindle
as
was
an
the
exotic
exotic,
as
yeah.
Black Spindle. So like I use those all the time. You had the Meta tool, which obviously has come over, but like the guns started to feel less and less powerful, and I would just choose a regular pistol over using like
you know how like in Destiny 1, you would hear a gun's name and be like, oh,
you have
you have
that.
that. Yeah.
Ooh,
That
yeah.
hasn't happened really
Right.
in Destiny 2. And the only like recognition is like, oh, they brought that over. Cool. I can use that again.
Mm-hmm.
But the new ones are just like, oh, that's interesting, I guess.
They're more tame a little
Yeah.
bit. a little
yeah,
more
and like
tame.
the
What was the
exotic
poison gun from
Thorn.
D1.
Thorn. Like
Yeah.
Thorn was
I love that
amazing
gun.
in D1.
Oh
And
my
I
God.
used
Some
to,
of the sickest
we used-
exotic guns.
Like I
in that
used to
game.
melt people with the Thorn, right?
like- that was my
two
favorite
headshot,
PvP
two
gun.
headshots, body shot, done, dead, right? Because the bleed. But like, there was, if that existed now, like, but it doesn't exist in the same fashion. Like, there's no reason to use it because I could still kill you faster with a legendary submachine gun. Like, well, why does this exotic exist? Like, you would always have an exotic equipped in D1, right? Whether it's your primary, your secondary, or your heavy.
You had to go to.
You had to go to, right? Like, if I'm doing PvP, I'm gonna have my Gallahorn for majority of or PvE Gallahorn for majority of situations. Maybe I use a sniper rifle, but in PvP I might use a primary, and it's gonna be one of these primaries because they're far better than any other primary, and like that makes sense because that causes you to want to grind, and you grind because you want that gun because that gun is so good versus grinding it for the sake of getting it.
And that's kind of the heart of Destiny 2's problem. It's an investment problem. It's like,
Yeah.
who wants to actually spend their time doing this game? And the reasons for why it hasn't stuck as well as the first one, it's a lot of them. It's all over the place. It's not any one thing. Everything kind of sprinkles in to create this environment. One being a dumbing down of the game, essentially.
We'll talk about this.
Making things easier to get. Like the climb to max light level, your power level as a character, was so easy, comparatively speaking.
I did
than
it
how
in
it
2.5
was
weeks.
in Destiny. Yeah, exactly. The things you were doing didn't feel rewarding. There was like you just optimized your path to get your rewards. And you could argue any game has that path optimization, but at least in Destiny 1, it was more you had to work for more of your stuff. You had to play the raids, you had to play trials, or else you were kind of locked out of your highest level gear. In Destiny 2, they're like, everybody gets a prize.
Right.
Like,
And I remember there was more bounty focused in Destiny 1. A lot of the things that you accomplished were done through those bounties you picked up.
because you need experience to level up weapons and shit.
If I remember correctly.
So there's a few things, like you had to level up your weapons. Like you didn't even get all your perks unlocked right away.
They unlocked it. Oh, yeah,
Right?
that's right.
Yeah.
And you you ate motes of light to unlock your gear. Like
Yeah,
at
to
a
give
certain
yourself
point, I never even
experience.
did experience anymore. I would just eat all the
Yeah.
motes of light because you were getting those naturally by playing. Like there was a good system in place.
Yeah.
But the other thing is like you got to max light by doing two things: raid and trials. Like that's your end game content. And they did a good thing by giving another outlet by doing these weekly missions that can give good gear, and Nightfalls too. Excuse me,
Yeah.
those were your three things. But it then all became about those weekly.
And I
endgame-
was so in on them. Like it made sense. I was like,
That's
this
a
is
cool-
great.
that's a cool way of
it's
doing it.
accessible, but then you don't have two paths. You've got like 7 paths to the highest tier gear. So you just end up not doing
Like,
all
why am
the
I raiding?
activities.
Why am I raiding
Right.
anymore?
I
Right.
just play 3 public events and get endgame gear.
And they
Well, I was going to say the only thing that did make sense to me was if somebody just wanted to play Crucible. Like when they made it so that like when the Iron Banner special event came around, you could get the raid level gear. I thought that was more inclusive of people who just like to play PvP.
You're talking about Destiny 1 or 2?
I thought it was in Destiny 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in Destiny 1 when I thought they came out with the what was the big story DLC
Rise
that
of
came
Iron?
out?
The last one?
The big one.
Taken King?
Taken King, yeah. So when Taken King came out, didn't they make it so that there was like a patch that made it so that there were 3 ways primarily that you can get the highest end gear, and it was play the special events for Crucible,
Sure.
the raid, or the trials,
Yeah.
and those were the 3 things.
Yeah, and like
And that was that was end game stuff.
But here's the thing for Destiny, and the reason why it'll never be a competitive game unless they were to create loadouts for it is you have to do the other stuff if you want to be competitive. Like you get specific gear from doing specific things. Like even the top Destiny PvP players still had to do the raid when it first came out
Or
to
else you
get
wouldn't
stuff,
be-
or else you wouldn't be
enough. Yeah.
you wouldn't be high enough, and that is what an MMO does to you. You don't go into PvP until you've done endgame raiding and your character is at a point where you can do PvP now. If that's not the game for you, there's plenty of other PvP games that exist that are great shooters. So, and they say it in the blog post, they said, we wanted everyone to be able to reach max light. And we realized that was a mistake. So what we're going to do
good.
with the new expansion is it's going to fucking take you forever.
Yeah, they really outlined this power climb. they
Very
call it.
specifically, yeah.
And And this is a change that's going to be coming out with the Warmind expansion, which is next month. So this is very, very soon.
Yeah.
It's just more transparency. I've never seen them explicitly list the hard cap and the soft cap. Like when the game launched, we had to figure out, 260 light level is like the soft cap when things start getting tougher. And then you had to figure out where it went. They're telling you now 340 soft cap, 380 hard cap, and
385 is the max with the mods.
With the mods, yeah. So they're saying they're giving you like weighted values for what you do. So like your clan engram, which previously gave you as good light level gear as the raid would give you, which means all you have to do is get your friends together, play anything together, and you would just get a reward.
Yep.
That feels bad after a while. Not that it feels bad, but like you don't want to play. Why would you? There's nothing to invest, right? So they've said up to a certain point, up to the soft cap, this will get you what you need. But after 340, you're going to really struggle if you only use this as your source. You need to make an investment in the raid or trials to get the biggest bump in your reward pool.
Yeah.
A lot of those people that don't want to put effort in are definitely going to fall off.
And that's fine because they're not the heart of the community. They're not the ones that are upset.
And now I think what they're doing with this is they're saying we were trying to be inclusive. And we're still going to try that with these other ways of leveling. But for those that want to pour their heart into this game, we are now here for
I'm going to bring you back like fully?
I still feel like Destiny is the best shooter that I've ever played.
D1.
And D2. Like
shooting the guns,
killing the aliens, all of that. I still feel like is a fantastic game. The reason is they haven't done a good job of making me want to go back because of things like, all right, took me 3 days with the new DLC. I'm already max light, right? Okay, well, why am I coming back? The guns don't feel great. It doesn't feel great to kill people. Why am I playing the PvP? Like, it just didn't feel like I should be coming back each week.
Yeah, the story missions are never going to be something that draws you only. Like the reason, like I remember sitting there and just playing D1 for hours and hours, and I'm like, what am I doing? I'm running around the Dreadnought, but I'm having fun.
Yeah,
just because I needed to invest myself in those systems to level something up. There's always a goal. There's nothing.
There's not that race.
And they said right now. They said the amount of time that it takes you. It is going to take you, I think, double. Or if they just used longer to get from 370 to 380, then it will take you to get from 340 to 370. So 340 is the cap, is the starting place for Warmind DLC. If you're not at 340, you're not high enough light to start those missions. The amount of time that it takes you to get from 340 to 370, which is technically end game, you're now on end game content at 370. I think they said
that time it will be equal, and then 70 to 80 will be like double that or something.
Like you're going to need to grind to get to max light.
This is like when an expansion comes out, World of Warcraft, and those new 10 levels are like, this 10 level grind to finish this stuff.
Right.
It's going to take you as long as when you hit from level 1 to 60.
Right. Exactly.
Like it's going to be.
So then when you when you land on the tower and everyone's inspecting you because you're at 380, that means something. Versus like, duh, everyone's at the cap because it's fucking easy, right? Like, and it makes it more meaningful to invest. So I guess to answer your question, am I gonna pour everything into this game right now? No, but I'm going to start playing it, I think, pretty regularly, because I do think that come September, if they do make these changes in a way in which it positively affects the community, I would buy the DLC again and play the game, because playing PvP on my PC with that game, it is amazing. It is way better than PUBG. It is way better than any other PvP game that I've played on the PC because it feels so fluid.
It's okay. You can say the word.
What?
It just feels real tight.
Real tight. I forgot about it. Thank you for reminding me.
Nothing wrong with that word or that phrase, but I think you are banned from saying this, Nia.
Feels real tight.
It's you too.
It's a real tight experience. It's a real tight experience.
Just done.
But the way that the hand cannon shoot on PC is vastly different than it was on console, and like, it sucks to have to start over because my console character has pretty much anything I would need. I'm not at the level cap anymore, but like, it has all of the gear, but like, it just feels real tight on on the PC.
This is your fault.
This is all fault.
So I'm excited to dive back into it because right now it does feel like a different experience even now because I'm just playing it on PC versus console.
Awesome.
PC it's a fun experience, man.
It's the better way to play.
I mean,
It's taught me to be a better PC player.
60 frames, man, makes a huge difference.
I
think you would even be surprised if you were to fire it up and play in comparison to what it was
I played the beta, the pre-release event, and I was like, damn, this is releasing a month after like the console. How could they do this?
Remember how slow that shit felt though?
Yeah.
That was,
And then going back to because then I played PS4 with you guys.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was painful.
Well,
it was
I
real
look
painful.
forward to hearing you guys talk about your power climb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I won't be there, but
Yeah.
okay.
No, you're
I
out.
look forward to it.
Are you done entirely with Destiny?
well, if you all will be playing on the PC, and
Hold
maybe
on,
not
hold
Neo.
On, hold on.
but definitely
Don't-
you.
No. Stop. Don't.
No,
don't
definitely
do this.
just me.
Definitely just Locke.
I'm not paying for a year's worth of Xbox Live to play that game. I'll
Gotcha.
tell you that.
Gotcha.
Don't
more
don't
Xbox Live
use this
service.
as an experience because I haven't seen you on the PS4 playing Destiny
No,
either.
no,
And I'm there.
no. I'm out.
So that's what I just want you to say the words.
Look, as you Trip and you and Snacks said, I'm like the mercenary for hire. You need that 6th seat.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, Neo's.
No, I like the story.
And for
been
all
in
your listeners out
retirement.
there is an Emergent Gamer clan as well.
Oh, yeah.
So let's get that fired back up.
Hell, man, I might even join
Can
now.
PC players join the clan?
Yes.
Pretty sure. I don't know
You
how.
have to invite
I'm
me.
trying to get myself joined
there?
into my
You
own
can.
clan.
You can. It's a
like,
BattleNet invite.
Like I think I would. I think I'd be a little bit sad if the game got really good.
I
and
joined
you
their
didn't
clan
have it on
twice.
PC.
I was in there
Yeah,
twice.
Show me some
but-
sales.
Xbox
Show me some
and
sales.
PS4 together.
But I would never expect you like to buy it. You know.
The problem was I got the digital deluxe edition.
This is the first
PS4.
game. Do you know how upset I am about this? This is the first game ever that I ever bought all of the DLC up front.
And was this disappointed?
Well,
at
no,
first?
not even this disappointed that I invested in the game and all of its DLC up front, and I'm not even going to play Warmind on my Xbox, and I already paid for it.
Sucks.
Because you're not doing you're not re-upping.
You're not going
live.
back. Yeah,
No,
Yeah.
No,
I get it.
like unless every single Xbox player that I ever played with hopped back on and was like, "We're in it," then maybe. But why would I do that when I have the better version of the game?
Look, I really wanted to get Monster Hunter as well. And
Yeah.
and Destiny was honestly Destiny 2 was what taught me, hey, don't do this yet. Wait till September when Monster Hunter comes out.
see what
Get
happens.
it there. See what the performance is like. Look at the benchmarks.
They just had a big update too, I think.
They run events regularly in that game.
Yeah.
That game looks like a really fun 4-player co-op game.
It'll
Just
be great
like just
on
to have
PC
fun.
when we get it.
Are you going to play that?
Absolutely. I said I was going to play it when it
What's
came
up?
out on PC.
I know.
He
What's
looks at
up?
me, what's up?
What's up?
Maybe I'll do that.
Because you got it on PS4.
I have it on PS4.
Oh, you do?
I do, yeah. So, but I don't regret that. I'm not playing it currently.
Sure.
And Jay-Z gives me shit on the daily for it because he is very much
all
in
he
that-
does is
in
play
system.
that. Yeah.
Because that's a game I could sink my teeth into.
And it's fun. It just, dude, I have so much goddamn shit to play.
Metal Gear June, yo. Let's do it.
Metal Gear fucking December at this point. But I like it, and I'm glad that I had the dip in the toe in the game experience,
Right.
You know, because like I understand it now, and I can cool off on it and hop back in if there are more people in a new environment. So
Dude, I just want a
It's
little,
also
I want a
gonna,
little
it's
cat
also
friend.
gonna it's also gonna look real good on
It's
the
going to
PC.
look real good.
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I'm already excited for it.
Dude, those little cats are so
Palicos,
adorably detailed.
yeah.
I'm very excited.
Palicos. I can't get over that.
Palico. When I hear the name Palico, I think of the play Cats.
Yes.
Like
Yeah,
the
'cause
Broadway production.
Yes, the Broadway production by Andrew Lloyd Webber.
I know.
Because of Calico.
Because the song, the Calico, the song, the Calico Cats.
Well,
We're
you
Calico
can
Cats.
know the
That's-
term
Are
Calico
you a
without
mu-
knowing
are you
the
a musical guy?
Cats.
I was in a production of Cats. Just
Really?
just saying. When I was
No, I just
Yeah.
saw the this is hilarious. I just saw the Gloria Stefan musical. I did.
I don't know.
He's not a theater guy. He was in Cats once. Is what he
Okay,
was
cool.
saying.
I am. I love musicals. I'm letting you know.
look, I have a family that's real into musicals, and
Yeah.
so I know
You know
my
brother.
I know my
like,
share of
acts in New
musicals,
York, right?
stuff.
Like that's like what he does.
Yeah, I know all about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I just met him recently for the first time.
But I'm not familiar with the Gloria Estefan. Stefani.
It's called Get on Your Feet.
Stefani.
It's about her her life and
Cool.
her tragedy.
But these cats, man.
Sorry.
Very cool.
You know,
This
the
went
calico.
the place.
You know the calico is a type of cat.
Right.
They're not just saying they're referencing the Cats musical with Palico.
No, I know, but people. No, I know. Of course, I
wanted to
know
be
that.
sure. I just wanted to be sure.
There's a
I don't
song
know. I'm
about
just
the
making
type
sure.
of cat. That's what the
Yes.
song is.
Yeah.
Come on, I was in cats. Come on, no.
I know. I know.
I think I know what I'm talking about
Look,
cats.
I know a little bit about
But,
it.
It's just
but
the
when they
worst
say
musical of all time,
everyone
that's
keeps
fine.
saying palicos. So in my mind, I'm like singing this stupid Andrew Lloyd Webber song.
That song needs to be expunged from your brain.
I know it's bad,
It's real bad.
but I get the pun. I get what they're
Sure.
saying with the palicos. Yeah, they're
Little
pals and they're calicos.
It's there.
See
it is.
that?
Nailed
So
it.
the only other piece of news we really have to talk about is there's some battle royale stuff coming out, right? I think that's really the only other major.
Oh, yeah,
port.
this is-
and it's not a huge.
some rumor machines about it.
Yeah, so we have a few one pretty big rumor, and then another one that seems a little bit more substantial, which is that DICE is playtesting a battle royale mode in Battlefield 5.
Yeah.
Right, so we expect that they're currently working on what will battle royale look like in our game, which I have said this time and time again. I've said it to every friend that I play PUBG with. I truly believe that DICE can create the end all be all
PUBG
best
experience.
version of
Battle Royale.
Battle Royale, because they already make an incredibly great shooter. Gun mechanics are fantastic in that game, and if they can put their spin on it and evolve the Battle Royale genre a little bit, I think they're the best to do it.
What are the odds do you guys think at E3 that either Activision or DICE, Activision being Call of Duty, because that's also part of our thing,
Yeah.
when they show their demo, because when they bring up their demo on screen, what are the odds you think they're going to show off instead of story cutscenes or any kind of? They're going to show you a simulated battle royale match in their game.
2 to 1. 2 to 1.
2 to 1, like 50%. Yes,
That's what.
They're
Yeah,
gonna
2 to
do
1.
that.
Yep. 2 to 1 odds.
wow.
50% chance.
So I'm just saying, because we might see a lot of this
I don't think.
at E3.
I think so. The news for Activision is that they're no longer going to be a story for Call of Duty.
Apparently,
they're getting what?
Sorry, apparently they were in the middle of making their single player campaign for their new Call of Duty, and they scrapped it because it wasn't coming along. And they were like, you know what? This is what we're going to do instead. We're going to focus on a battle royale mode and do the standard Call of Duty multiplayer.
And the zombies. They were going to
And
make
the
zombies a little
zombies.
bit more robust than what it currently is.
So it
is what
sounds
they were
like they're
saying.
going to fill out their multiplayer selection while kind of shelving the campaign for like the first time ever.
Yeah. So I mean, and it's crazy because Call of Duty came from story-driven first-person
Oh,
shooter,
sure.
which is
Yeah.
crazy.
I've never
So-
wanted to play Call of Duty less than hearing all this news.
Yeah, I don't really have a reason to want to play Call of Duty, and
didn't-
I'm a huge shooter and multiplayer
I haven't
fan.
done it in years.
I
so.
would expect Activision to showcase what you're saying right now. I don't think DICE would lead with that. I think they're smarter than that. I think they would talk about the complete package of Battlefield 5, and I absolutely think they would highlight it and let us know that it exists, but I don't think they would lead with it. Activision, I think, would double down on their multiplayer because it's what they have. So if they don't, what are they showing, right? Like, we already know what Call of Duty multiplayer looks like. We know what zombies in Call of Duty multiplayer looks like. What we don't know is what is your battle royale going to be. So I would imagine that's what we're going to get. We're going to get a battle royale simulation, and then the fucking Call of Duty logo is going to pop up and end scene.
Yeah.
Is what it's going to be. And if it's exactly that, I want money
You want
from
money?
from them, not from y'all.
Oh,
Yeah, I want money from them because I just created it for them yet again.
there you go.
They're listening and they're like, "That sounds good.
But-
that sounds real good. We're
think
gonna
we're
do
gonna
it.
do
We're
that.
gonna
Yeah,
do it."
but Locke, you wouldn't play it because you've expressed numerous times that if they did Battlefield 5 as a Call of Duty, I almost said Call of-
Battle Royale.
as a World War II game.
Oh yeah, I
you
won't
don't
play it.
wanna-
It's World War II.
Yeah,
No,
but we don't know yet. It's not confirmed to be a World War II.
it is
game.
not.
That was a rumor.
It was a rumor that they were going to follow suit and do World War II now. I think that is a terrible move for a variety of reasons, but the two biggest ones being it's already been done. So what are you doing? If you want to revisit it later. That's fine. Like, it doesn't have to be like the world wars are already over. You don't have to go from 1 to 2. Like, make 5 future, and then do 6 as World War II.
Yeah,
Let the dust settle for Call of Duty, right? And then create a better version of a World War II shooter. The other thing is Battle Royale in World War II setting isn't going to be fun. Like, it's not. I don't
That's
think
what World War II was. It was
but I mean, it kind of.
survival on the battlefield.
I mean, it kind of was, but I don't think what we would be allowed to do with the gun mechanics and the weapon systems and the vehicles in World War II would be as great as it could be as if it was current day. Personally,
So here's what I was thinking. What do you guys think about this? Like, what if they did? Like they always do, like World War II, or they do like. So you're saying modern, keeping with the theme of modern.
Mm-hmm.
What if they don't do like modern day, but they do like Persian Gulf War or Second Persian Gulf War?
Interesting.
Is there kind of like a negative spin on picking those conflicts because those conflicts were too political?
I don't
imagine
know
so.
enough about
Or
wars.
are the politics of those wars too palpable?
Yeah,
to
I mean,
us?
if you're
Battlefields, they've done Vietnam, they've done Desert Strike, but
but we're removed from Vietnam.
Yeah, I don't think.
Right.
Quite honestly, the reason why they wouldn't do it is because I think there's a small percent of the population that even knows what the fuck that is.
I don't know anything about
Right.
that conflict.
like when things are
like-
military actions, that's when it gets hazy and cloudy, and people are they're going to ask, why are we focusing on this, or they're going to say like, this is too close to home because I didn't agree with this engagement.
Like when we talked about,
I feel like
when
it's a minefield, no pun intended.
Battlefield 4 had a story, right?
Yes.
No, I was just thinking of Spec Ops: The Line because we were talking about it in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But I was thinking like if you did like, but what was the focus of Battlefield 4? Do you remember?
I think it was a made up conflict, right?
It
A
was
made up
conflict,
fictional conflict somewhere.
Yeah, you landed somewhere to start, and it was very like fucking Spec Ops, but I don't think it was Middle East.
And it was 3 did the same thing also.
Yeah.
It was a made up like
like maybe some place in Eastern Bloc or whatever.
See, that's the thing. They could do whatever they want, but why go back to the stuff that we've seen like World War II? And
I would appreciate that, but like I don't like. They also have to market to the masses. Now, if they did a DLC and kind of made the DLC about it because they somehow link it, whatever, like that might make more sense versus the game itself.
I was just bringing up
the Gulf War.
I was just bringing up
right?
the question of specific modern conflicts if they
Sure.
have any relevance or
Right.
and maybe not.
You know what I would love to play? This is not totally off topic, but a little bit off topic. We're spitballing here.
Mm-hmm.
What if one of these games really leaned on the future? I know one of the Call of Duties did this, right? You were like doing space battles and shit.
Advanced Warfare.
Yeah, but what if you did a thing where it was like a world war in like 200 years, but the company really dove in and like built up the history of each country, where they went, who merged with who, who's allies with who, and did like a whole world engagement in the future.
Sure.
Right?
sounds very it's very sci-fi. It's very like The Expanse.
I
is
just
like that.
I mean, like myself. This all seems the same to me. Like
It does.
the same
we're
wars. Over
we're
and over
treading.
again.
We're treading.
Or it's
That's
like,
why I
or
stopped.
you slap the word modern on it, and it's like, okay, now I have just like an automatic pistol and maybe a guy with like some cool goggles, and I have a cell phone that does some shit. Mm-hmm. It just,
I mean, that's what
there's,
made
like,
the
no,
Division
no
so
space
interesting.
that's gonna draw me in. Personally
Well, I
speaking.
was going to say that's what made the Division interesting to all of us, because the Division was like slightly modern with like,
But it had
cooler
deep
weapons,
story behind
things.
it. I
Yeah,
mean, I always like story.
and all
Obviously,
that,
that's
but,
my focal point. But like, I'd appreciate that, like work put into like a fictional environment that also has like a
But
familiar.
You want some good.
footprint.
You want some good world building.
But that's different.
I do.
The difference is that makes sense for Battlefield 5, the game,
Sure.
versus like their Battle Royale mode,
Yeah.
right? Like,
You get very creative though if you
Sure.
if you
You
create
absolutely
your environment from scratch, one that doesn't exist or only has very very minimal interaction with like the current era.
And the other thing they could do with Battlefield, because they're called Battlefield, is not pick one time period. They could literally have a bunch of game modes. Battlefield 5 could be like a mix max of I don't even know what I just said.
Mishmash.
Of different
Mix-max.
mix max. A mishmash of different like time
Like you hit
periods.
random and you might get like just some super old
No,
shit.
it would have to be game mode based. Like your the thing where you jump out of planes or whatever in
Sure.
Battle Royale. That could be modern, and then the main story could just be it's like a for this game, we really want to do an overview of all war from all time periods. Now we're going off on tangents.
We are. There's one other thing I wanted to talk about news because we're at about an hour and 15. So unless there's anything else we want to do for this Battle Royale mode,
well,
one other thing I wanted
did you want to speak of Division, or did you have something else?
I had something else that I think's
do it up.
Better conversation.
Sure.
So there's rumors that State of Decay 2 is going to be hitting Steam. Now, the reason why this is interesting is because what does that do for crossplay and and the Xbox exclusives with Play Anywhere?
Very interesting.
Where
actually.
this rumor is coming into play is there was talks that they were going to buy Valve. So what people are speculating is not that they've bought Valve, but that they've created a partnership where now Steam Library can play on the Xbox network.
Oh my God!
And that is the current rumor, that it doesn't matter where you buy it, that the Xbox Store, which currently isn't great, is going to somehow merge into a new entity based off of the
Literally
Steam Store.
The only reason why I didn't buy Quantum Break.
Sure, because it was in the Windows Store.
Yeah, and
Right.
I bought Gears of War, and I was not having fun
thrilled.
with that.
Yeah.
I was not thrilled with that.
Because where the rumor starts to speculate is, why would they release it on Steam when you can't play with Xbox players, where the purpose of this game was Play Anywhere? And
unless they just are banking on people like Neo, who wants to have their game in the Steam library but still wants to support that game or that developer.
Maybe.
Devil's advocate.
Maybe. Sure. But then why go all in on Play Anywhere if you're segmenting where people buy your game?
That is true.
You're right, but it's like it just doesn't seem. It seems like there's something else happening.
Is it too big of a leap? I thought I caught you say this, but I just want to clarify. Is it a leap that if they did merge these stores? No, never mind.
You mean tying like your Steam account to your Xbox Live account?
I'm thinking of like play space and servers and playing together with games that are not originally cross-platform, but like maybe one that exists on the PC and on the Xbox. Is that a thing that's like a thing maybe?
Well, I mean, so I'm trying to find the game that they talked about in this article specifically, but apparently, here we go. As players may recall, 2013's Killer Instinct recently released on Steam, and it supported crossplay with Xbox One as other PC players directly through Steam.
Released on Steam.
Yeah, apparently. Never even heard of this, but it has. So it's possible. Because this is saying the 2013 game Killer Instinct recently released on Steam and can play with Xbox
Quantum
players.
Break did also release on Steam at a later date.
Right, but that's not a multiplayer game, right?
No.
But same thing.
Yeah.
So maybe we were looking at the purchasing of Valve wrong, and it's a partnership with Valve to somehow bring Steam and the Microsoft Store together or form a partnership. And they're speculating that this is what is going to be announced at E3 for Microsoft. That this partnership is what we're going to get.
They're going to get on stage and do this.
This is the rumor. That they're not focusing on their first-party content, but they're going to focus on essentially how they're going to reshape the industry.
Absorbing other first-party content, right?
But it's not even that.
It's expanding their library, I guess.
It's expanding their library. It's bringing more gamers together, and it's influencing the Microsoft brand. The Xbox entity of Microsoft is great, but Windows 10 is still a huge part of their business. So a Steam player is already running a Microsoft product by running Windows 10, right? So what they're doing is they're doing an Apple approach where they're making their ecosystem all encompassing.
Right.
You're playing. You have a library of games running my operating system, right? Which may be the games that I'm already playing, that I may have over here, or I have friends playing them, or whatever. But they're making the ecosystem all inclusive, and they're making it in a circle versus segmenting where players play different things. And I don't know what the end result looks like, and this all could be a rumor, but if I could buy State of Decay 2 on Steam, I'd rather do it than buy it in the Windows 10, buy it in the Windows Store. But what I ultimately want to do is I want to play with you on Xbox.
On Xbox.
So if I have to buy it in Windows,
I'm
going to, right? It's not saying that I'm not going to do that, but what does that partnership look like for the future? Because now you're not worrying so much about first-party content, because you don't need to be worrying about it as much.
I bought the $50 job pre-ordered.
Gotcha.
I get it 4 days ahead of time.
Okay.
Ooh.
Nice.
It's $30 retail, right?
Yes.
Yeah, 30, but I bought the 51 so I could get it 4 days earlier.
Well, it's that bad.
Yeah, I'm not
Excited
to that.
No, you don't have to.
But
Hold on. Steering back to this a little bit. Is it another leap to imagine Mixer being involved in this at all? If their stores are tied together, what if you're in Steam and it's like, watch this game on Mixer before you buy it?
Don't know if you guys knew this, but Steam actually already has features built in.
It does.
That
They're
when
real
you
bad.
when you what? Yeah, I know. And I've had them turned on, and one of my buddy messages me on Steam, goes, "Hey, you're like." Your gameplay is live right now, and I'm like, "Oh, thanks Steam for telling me that I'm currently broadcasting. Didn't know that. Thanks." It has a broadcast feature.
That's weird.
You're absolutely right.
Like within Steam, you can watch people.
Like you. It's kind of how Microsoft does it right now on the Xbox platform. You click a game, and if you
just
scroll
see
down,
who's
you can
playing.
see who's playing, and you can also watch games directly from that. Ooh, wait. What is Kingdom Come Deliverance? Oh, wait, let me watch how unhappy Felix is. Right? Like, all right from there.
And I was
you can
on
do it.
Mixer
If they
today.
link the store, and if they link Mixer into Steam,
This guy's just killing everything. What the fuck is wrong with him? He's not advertising
Game
this
changer,
shit.
man.
He's killing it all.
I've
all of
used
those things
to do
together, that could be all Microsoft needs to really reposition themselves
Absolutely.
as an entity.
And if you think about that, why the fuck do you need a big E3 space if all you're talking about is a software platform? You don't need any of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
I mean, it'll definitely make up for their lack of first party.
Right, but then it also
stuff.
opens up the doors to what is possible in the future. You now aren't hearing everyone talking about first party. You're like, whoa, like you just reshaped your platform. All right, now let's see what we can do. I feel better about you as a company, but it would also make all of our lives easier, which shit. Let PlayStation keep making the better games, but like I'll take the quality of life shit. Like
PlayStation can stay in
any
their
day.
little closed off ecosystem because they want to stay closed off.
Right.
Yeah.
So and it forms a relationship between the PC player and the Xbox player, which is all anyone wants, right? And if you think about it, like it to me it makes it's a perfect business decision. To say like, how are we going to partner with Valve? How are we going to integrate the Steam library to the Windows 10 library? Because they're already using our platform. It's not like we're all running Linux. You know, like we're already doing it. And if you want to make it one thing, make it one thing. Scrap the Windows 10 store and just make it Steam
so much.
And just make it Steam or whatever, or make a hybrid version that is for it. Who knows?
If Steam is just added into those like stupid Windows tiles, they would have so much more traffic just from people that
don't know
see
what it is.
And they're just like, oh, cool, I'll dive in this way.
Because there are still players that game on a Windows 10 machine that probably have no idea what Steam is, that buy directly through the Windows store.
100%.
Who are these people? I want to meet them.
They're out there, man.
They're definitely
absolutely out there.
Like if something like this happened, how would that affect games where there's competition that is definitely like?
I would assume, if I'm spitballing ideas, it's the same way that Fortnite does it with mobile. Like you can get into an all server, right? Or you can still play in a PC only server.
Oh, so mobile people can actually choose to play in an all server.
I was talking to Silence. Silence was in my Mixer stream. He plays Fortnite on his PlayStation while his girlfriend is playing it on the iPad in the other room, and they're in the same lobby.
They're
playing.
duoed?
My brother said, "Yo, bro, play Fortnite with me." He was playing on his iPhone, and I was like, "Well, I don't want to play on that. I'll just boot it up on my PC." So he didn't realize I was on my PC.
But in terms of competition, those people are getting trashed, right? By
Oh,
the
100%.
PC
Oh
people.
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But it's fun, you know.
But like
Having
in a
cool,
co-op game like State of Decay, it doesn't matter.
no,
You're not, you know what I mean? But
no.
but you would your competition would still be formulated based off of a game. Like Call of Duty was PlayStation, Halo was Xbox, PC would be the next shooter, and that's where people may play it. Like Overwatch isn't on PlayStation or Xbox; it's a PC shooter, right? That's where it's played best. It doesn't mean that players can't play together. It just means that I'm automatically at an advantage playing against you.
No, as long as there's like a thing that's where, you know, like I'm just thinking of myself. Like if I'm still console in 2 years or whatever, I want to make sure I can avoid the all PC server and just be like,
I would hope in 2 years we can bring you into the future a little bit. Is what I would hope.
Oh.
But if you're still stuck, I'm sure there would be fail safes because
they don't want to alienate a lot of people, which they would if they forced everyone together. So I think you're okay.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
There's still a major space for consoles.
oh, absolutely.
We've just, I don't want to say evolved. It's a little harsh, but
Shit.
but
Yeah, I'll just live over here in my
sauce on that
troglodyte
sentence.
world. I'm a troglodyte.
I don't want to say we've evolved.
I'm still
Evolved.
I'm still in the petri dish in the pond.
No, it's fine.
But no,
You went there.
no, the console market is always going
massive.
to exist.
Yeah.
And it should exist, but it shouldn't mean that friends can't play together just because one wants to hold a controller and one wants to do keyboard mouse, or one wants to have the best graphics possible and an amazing experience and one doesn't. No.
Well, you
sorry.
put it that way.
No, but I agree with you. If I was on the opposite end, if I didn't go all in on the PC gaming and I was still an Xbox player and like I had to play against people like with keyboard mouse that were destroying me that I knew weren't
That's
better,
not
that
a good
was
experience.
just like.
Not that I even really like to play.
But I
that
understand.
kind of
No, but I
competition, but,
understand. Like that's not fair.
I don't want to like.
Right?
I've been in situations where I don't know what game I was playing where somebody was like, "Oh, they're probably on PC. You're getting killed."
Probably a shooter. Like games like Rocket League and like
Yeah, I
Hearthstone,
was
which
in
are great
some
anywhere
context.
games. Like
Right. There's a space for the cross-platform to exist, and there's a space where it shouldn't overlap and it should be segmented. And all that takes.
But I would
is
love it for co-op games.
Yeah, but all
I
that
would
takes
love
is
it
that
for
all that
co-op.
takes is
Gears of
server
War
browsing.
4 is a
right?
co-op
Yeah.
game. I can play with you on Xbox while I'm on PC. I'm not going to do it.
Like imagine, like I think about like. Imagine if you could be playing your Destiny game on Xbox and I could be playing it on PC and we don't have to worry about it.
That would
right?
be
Like
such the dream.
Like like sure, in PvP, we probably shouldn't play together because I'm on a PC server, right? Like that's probably not smart, but like we can raid together.
Raiding, 100%.
We can strike together. Like it becomes infinitely easier to do things because you're not segmenting people and locking them down based off of hardware barriers that quite frankly don't exist.
That would also
Right.
increase matchmaking too.
Absolutely. You
It would,
have
it would
matchmaking would be
revive
instantly.
dead. It would revive dead matchmaking platforms. Yeah.
You think about like people that are playing Call of Duty on PC. Those servers are non-fucking existent. But if you bring over the Xbox servers, which aren't even as large as the PlayStation servers, but you
Boom.
bring those over,
Influx of
Just
players.
more people.
more people playing it. It creates value in buying it on PC instead of fucking segmenting
Well,
your goddamn
hopefully,
market.
hopefully Microsoft is listening to us.
And all of this,
I think Sony is the one that needs to listen to us.
I think all of this
Really, they do.
Yeah.
will. I hope.
Really.
I hope it's all validated come E3. I am super excited for this year's E3.
So I know we're like a month and a
yeah.
half away, but I want you guys to give you guys a little homework. Think about some predictions of things you want to see, and then you think what you'll see, and we'll do like a nice E3 prediction episode.
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
say a month from now. No rush. Like
Yeah, like the week before or something.
like a week. We'll
Well,
plan.
I
a good
honestly
one.
want to get State of Decay played before
Oh, we're
just to
going to
see.
talk. When's that out?
That's May.
That's May. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, we'll definitely have time for you to talk about that.
Oh yeah.
But then we'll just do a whole segment where we're just like E3 predictions, hopes, dreams, wants, needs. That whole
Because
jam.
when is E3?
They've been companies have started to announce.
Do we know when
their-
Microsoft's E3 announcement
I will
is?
tell you.
Because if it's before State of Decay, that'd be really interesting. State of Decay's launch.
It wouldn't be.
It's
though.
after. It's
It's
in
after.
June.
It is June.
E3 kicks off June 10th. It's a Sunday.
But I guess it wouldn't have to come out on Steam right away. It could
Yeah.
release on Steam later.
True.
You're trying to think about if they're going to announce that.
Oh,
they're
when
a
you-
Steam partnership at E3, and if it comes to Steam.
When
Yeah,
you were
just-
talking about the article, I thought you meant it was coming soon, like it was releasing way ahead. I misunderstood what you were saying.
There's rumors that it's going to be released on Steam.
Oh wow!
And
you were speaking generally,
Yeah, and the question is, well, why would they release it on Steam
right?
if there
All
wasn't?
this was speculative.
No, I understand
but
now.
it would make sense if they're going in those directions.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
far,
you. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, so far, Microsoft, Bethesda, and Ubisoft have their times slotted
Okay.
currently.
And it would make sense when you think about the rumors that we heard about Microsoft like acquiring Valve. Well, maybe the rumor wasn't completely wrong, but it was a partnership with Valve, not an acquisition, right? So I don't know, man. It would be amazing. It'd be the first time that I would be like stoked about like an industry shifting movement that's actually happened.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the first part of that statement.
Just saying, like, if this were to actually happen
With Sony, with
no, with Microsoft and Valve, and there would be a partnership, you know.
Well, because like we know Sony's been sitting at the top of the food chain for a little while. This is like an actual, real good power move that Microsoft could make to level that playing field and make Sony go, oh shit, yeah, we do have to start ramping things up and giving people more value for what we make besides just really good content, right? Because they're sitting back a little bit, I think, and they're getting comfy.
They are
at the top
because they have,
but when it comes to their services, at least, and their ecosystem,
but Sony's like we're now seeing with like Horizon and God of War, we're now seeing the 5 E3s ago, Sony promised all this stuff coming out, and now we're starting to see them roll out all these packages that they've essentially promised since the beginning of their console life. So I still think they have a lot to sit pretty with.
And they do, for sure. But I like them. I like it not being comfortable for them because that just makes everybody work harder.
Keep fire going underneath their butts.
Competition pushes innovation.
For sure.
Because, I mean, realistically, we would get to a point where we're like, okay, great, here's another story-driven game from Sony.
Cool. Economics
I still can't change my gamer tag.
Right?
So that's the problem, right? Like eventually you get to a point where it's not enough anymore, and like, sure, Microsoft still doesn't have first party content, but this is what they've done, and they've always focused on their service before their content.
True.
Not new.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah.
The only thing I remember from economics class was that monopolistic competition is better than monopoly in terms of like good business. Like when you have two very strong businesses that compete in a marketplace.
Sure.
That is the best situation. And that's one of the, that's why we have limits on monopoly.
I can only imagine what would fall under the Xbox Game Pass if this were to happen.
Whew.
Like what happens to the library? Does a bunch of Steam games get under the umbrella where you're now renting thousands of games?
That would be too much for my brain to handle.
Like imagine that.
My Steam library is large enough as it is.
But imagine if you never had to buy a game again. Just fucking had all of them always.
Do a Netflix like monthly.
That is too fucking much.
Yeah.
There's no way. Like,
do you know how much money they would make?
It'll happen.
Oh my god,
it'll happen one year.
Like even if it was only for a certain developer, like we've partnered with
Bethesda.
All Steam games in Bethesda are now under Xbox Game Pass.
Shit,
$14.99 a month.
But we already But we already talked about this.
Bam! I want credit right now, Microsoft.
Yeah.
There's another
2 years ago, we had a show, maybe multiple shows, where we talked about. Don't we want it to be like Netflix? We want gaming to be
sure.
What I'm saying is now it's like, whoa,
this could
if they're
happen.
if they're partnering with Valve and Valve has this library, what's stopping all of these older games even to be under an umbrella where now you just throw all that in, and now you're paying for a service that you're now getting access to all of this, right? Like I can download a game, get rid of it, download another one, play it, right? It's like the Netflix version. Like I'm going to watch one episode, I don't like this show. Well, guess what? There's literally 300 more I can choose from, right? I don't like this game I just downloaded. I tried it. Now I can speak to why I don't like it. Let me download another one. Like that's the future, and it could possibly happen with that kind of acquisition. Where would it go? Where would it go with like licensing details and all of that? Well, that's way above our head, but like it's not too far off to think that is a possibility because they can't scrap their Game Pass. Like that can't go away now, right? So it has to evolve with whatever this partnership may look like.
And people were saying like, what if they just got rid of Xbox Live Gold, merged it with their Game Pass situation, and then they have. This was like talked about a couple weeks ago where they were like, okay, now what if they?
Oh, then my Live becomes Game Pass,
and it becomes the same service, the same platform.
Cool.
And this is just a way for Microsoft to regain ground in the market.
Instead of saying, okay, you're going to pay $60, and you're going to pay $14.99 a month.
And you get the Xbox Live service.
Let's say you're going to pay X dollars one-time fee or X dollars monthly, which is going to eat. Like I see what you're saying. Like, this is part of this is everything from our service that you're getting.
And it'll remove confusion. It'll remove the divide between their services. Essentially, yeah,
sure. Man,
there's a lot.
Dreaming the dream.
That's why I wanted to talk.
I dreamed a dream.
So we will.
Musicals.
No more. No,
that was Les
nope,
Mis.
nope,
Yeah, I
nope,
know.
no more.
I know.
163 next week. We'll see you
call.
next week. Later.
Bye.
Bye.
That was a real tight episode.
Way to ruin it. Can we just
Pick
say
an order?
we're going to just work clockwise?
Yes.
Clockwise from whoever starts
Starts
the
the
show. Cool.
So
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
right, that way we always know who's next.
Yep.
That way we're not like you start to say Felix and
Okay,
I.
we're in the King's Fall raid now.
pregnant pause.
King's Fall was counterclockwise though.
It was.
I don't need you to be pedantic about it. I just thought it was
I
funny.
want to keep that fresh in your brain for when we hop back in.
I know we're getting ready to talk about this.
Yeah.
When you hop back in, I'm not going to hop in. How am I going to hop in? You're all hopping into the PC.
Fucking wow, dude. What if we want to hop back in and do some King's Fall?
On what's,
D1.
what? You're going to play your consoles again?
The same console that plays
No way.
my Destiny 2?
No way.
It's still installed on my machine?
Okay.
Did you just okay? You just okay me? Okay. He threw out the
okay.
okay. Okay. Okay, girl.